So we call people like you heart leaders, right? Because you have so much heart and love in what you do, but you're using intellect to make certain that it is driven forward. That's our view of what a heart leader is. When you hear the term heart leader and you're being called a heart leader, what does that invoke in you? What would...
Oh, well, and I asked the name earlier and I forgot it, but being compared to somebody like the former director of education in Afghanistan, I'm like, wow, that's another level of heart leadership. But no, I think it means leading with compassion, as we talked about, and I think it means not just having the compassion, but also the intellect, or the really taking an approach and thinking about every step that you're taking and also following through. So we talked about it earlier, but we try to reinforce this every day. We have daily huddles, we have weekly kind of leadership meetings and monthly town halls and rallies that you have to reinforce. And another comment you made is this doesn't just come out of nowhere. You have to meditate like on a daily basis. Leadership and leading by the heart is a daily thing that you have to practice. I think that would be what we try to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, that authenticity, the compassion that we strive to bring to the role that we're engaged in is really, from my perspective, what differentiates a heart leader from someone who's not leading from the heart. Because people can sense inauthenticity a mile away, and a heart leader is really it's a more difficult style of leadership from my perspective, because a heart leader is willing to expose their heart to the people that they engage with and that they work with. And I think a lot of times that's something that maybe a lot of leaders start out engaging in, but over the years, they, based on perhaps how they've been impacted by different circumstances, they begin to pull back and not lead so much with the heart, and they lead more by, command, or lead by, things that they would just expect from other people at a distance. But a heart leader really is engaging in relationship with the people that they lead with, and it's less that pyramid style. It's more of a flatter leadership model that still has structure to it, but it engages with people at every level of the organization and shares that heart, so that we can sharpen each other. I can learn about the heart that another person's bringing to their task in housekeeping or in caregiving, and I can be sharpened by that. I can be encouraged by that, and I can be even as a leader, it emboldens my heart, because I know that the people that we have working on the front lines and providing care for our residents, again, are doing it for the right reasons. And only heart leaders are really going to be able to know that and be able to engage, because they've done the hard work of relating to people on a personal level, which is not always the most efficient thing to do. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but it is, from my perspective, what is going to produce the best organizational health and team health.
I could not agree more. I want to take that whole snippet and it might go on our website, because ultimately it's correct. When it creates a sustainable organization that will stand the test of time. Mm-hmm. You might have short-term success, like high levels of success, that will eventually drop off.
Right.
If you don't invest in your staff to make certain that they feel cared for, that when they leave, they still have a sustainable home life, because that will start to draw from their work performance. So to see an organization like yours that creates that balance, that is both within and outside of the structure that you've created, it's reproducible too, and you've shown that. It isn't like it's just a one place. You can pick up this model and you can create it somewhere else, and you can create it somewhere else. And you can show compassion can be taught. Mm-hmm. And through the programs that you're talking about, that you're sharing,
Yeah.
recreating that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of times I think even too, like you were saying, it can be taught, and I think a lot of times it really is just um, giving your team permission to connect on that level as well. And I can really point to James's leadership in that regard as well, because I know just from conversations with him of that he wants to know what drives and motivates our team members, and we've exchanged emails based on conversations that we have both had with other team members regarding what their goals are for their life, where they want to live, where they want to, and it may not be even in a location where we're currently offering services, but how can we help them? What are we doing to help better their lives in any way we can? And that kind of compassionate care and leadership, you really need. I can speak again as an executive director. I need permission, from our vice president to be able to engage in those type of conversations. It's very difficult in an organization when that tone isn't set to create that. You can to a certain extent because of what you bring to the table personally, and you seek those opportunities and you do the best you can, but it really flourishes in an environment where there's an expectation that that's being done. And that's really when it goes to the next level.
Absolutely.